right, we are back for another RPG Horror Stories. You guys excited?
Of course.
You should be excited. Josey, get excited.
I'm always excited.
Perfect.
Can't you tell? This is my excited face and tone of voice. No, I'm struggling with how bad the soup I just ate was.
Did you order soup from that same place?
No, I ordered from a different place and it was just as gross. It's not even soup. Look at this. This is disgusting.
This is great. This is great radio, by the way.
It looks like soup to me.
It's not. It's hot and sour soup should not have the consistency of a gravy.
Were the noodles good at least?
The noodles were very good, and so were the prawn crackers.
So there you go.
All right.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
This is not food horror stories, though.
No, it's not.
Well, now
that's my own personal horror story I have to contend with.
This is expecting good food in England horror stories.
Listen, if I get Indian food, it's fine.
Yeah, because
you know
it's Indian food.
Here's the
it's
thing.
not British food.
The thing I miss the
Cheerio,
most
beans
about
and toast,
America...
governor.
No, I refuse. Beans on toast is disgusting. I will fight anyone that has to argue with me about that. However, the thing I miss the most about America is the Mexicans. There are no good Mexican restaurants here. And I just want some enchiladas. It's just desperately. There's one place called Mission Burrito and it's disgusting.
I'm going to go get an enchilada tonight just to flex.
Fuck you.
Post it up. Yeah.
All right, Greg, what you got for us today?
Oh, this story comes from when I went to local community college from back home. There was a GM. We were playing Pathfinder, so I guess a GM. I was a little hesitant joining because it was 2 separate groups of 6 people running like congruent campaigns. And the plan was eventually we would meet up and either, depending on how we interacted with each other and the story, either join forces or fight. I believe we got 2 sessions in and then no one ever played again. To start off, we were walking through the woods. There was a lawful stupid cleric who did not want anybody in the party to kill anything.
Sometimes they're chaotic stupid.
Oh, we got pacifist cleric. Come on.
See, here's the thing. There's a good
I
way
desperately
to
want to know how
play.
you play a pacifist in Dungeons and Dragons.
I've done it. You can do it. It's a lot of like deciding when and where you're okay with your party crossing your moral boundary. But
Also,
that's not
as long as you are not doing it.
It is fair that this is Pathfinder, which is not quite as combat centric as D&D is.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
So it's I guess it's I never played Pathfinder. I assume it's at least slightly easier to be a pacifist dick, but go ahead, pacifist dick.
So every time we got into a skirmish with kobolds or goblins or like wolves or anything that would aggress towards us, he threw up a stink and would leave the room for like 15 minutes to cool down. Good on him for being able to realize he needed to cool down and going to do so, but whatever. This happened, I think, at least once every hour. So we got to a mansion of the big bad. I think it was planned to be like an introduction to the guy. You know how with Curse of Strahd, like there's that initial, the party meets Strahd, party can't like even fight him. Strahd leaves or the party leaves, and then you have to focus on like defeating him. I think that's what this was supposed to be. I, a little trigger happy, drew my bow and shot at him as he was monologuing, and I got a natural 20. And instead of being like, oh, like you pierced like his hide or like something cool, it was, no, you missed. And I'm like, what do you mean? And the DM just really poorly explained that there was like a force field that would redirect any projectile attacks.
This reminds me of the hologram.
It reminds me of
Yeah.
5th grade where people are just like, "Oh, I shot you." It's like, "No, I'm wearing armor." It's like, "No,
Oh, yeah, it was
I'm shot with
shield,
armor-piercing
shield.
bullets." It's like, "Yeah, well, I have a force field around me."
Yeah, exactly. So that happens. The villain finishes his monologue, and we were given 2 paths to follow. Like, we could choose between the 2. One upstairs to like the bell tower, and then one to another area we didn't end up choosing. So I have no clue what was down there. There was a hunchback at the top of the bell tower, and one of his actions was to ring the bell, and that caused a -20 to all rolls while we were in the room and the bell was ringing. So we tried like throwing like projectile weapons, we tried hitting him, we tried doing anything. Since we got a -20 on all of our rolls, they obviously didn't work.
Yeah. Why are you trying to do anything?
Because the hatch that we all came from closed, and we were stuck there at the top of the bell tower.
With Quasimodo ringing his bells.
Yeah. And like thinking back on it, that would be an interesting mechanic if it was nerfed a little bit. But the real kicker was that the hunchback could stop ringing the bell, take a spinning attack against any melee near him, and then start ringing the bell again, all as one action. So there was no break in the bell ringing that would give us a chance to do anything. Like, we tried cutting the rope so the bell wouldn't ring. We tried attacking him. Nothing. So after, I want to say, half hour of like trying to have creative solutions to this problem, we decided to end the session, and that was the end of it. Like, no one wanted to play that campaign again.
Well, why would you want to if the GM is basically like, yes, anything you try to do here, you will immediately fail. Guys, why aren't you coming back to play? Like, that's
kind of what happened.
Game over. The hunchback wins. I'd like to congratulate the hunchback on being 1-0 in his career. Really, he did a bang up job. It was great. Super proud.
He
of
really
him.
did.
He worked hard. He worked hard for this.
Yeah. I want the scene where you try to hurl yourself out of the tower to get away from it, but can't because you're at a -20, literally to throw yourself to your death to escape this situation.
You just dive into the wall next to the window.
Yeah. Sorry, you tripped on the windowsill. Nope, just
still
didn't
in
work.
there.
That's
You did take 2 points of damage, but that's it. You're still stuck. That's, you know what? The GM trapped you in hell. That's what that was.
That is true.
Oh, you mean playing Pathfinder? Hey-yo.
Now,
how are you supposed to beat that? Is like I'm not familiar with Pathfinder's action economy. Is that can you do it with reactions?
So Pathfinder is basically just D&D 3.5 with an additional 20 years of cruft accumulated on top of it.
I love that word. Can you say it again?
Cruft. Detritus, whatever buildup, unsightly buildup. I don't
know if you thought detritus was going to help, but it did not.
Detritus helped me.
There we go. See.
I think
Josey has read some books, so
that's what I'm going back to school for. Is books.
Exactly.
I think I just
keep buying books.
So, tell us, Greg. Did you address this sort of thing in your session 0, your pre-campaign discussion that you had with your friends? And I'm completely just kidding with that question.
Yeah, no, everyone was completely.
Are you guys okay? Are you guys okay with gritty realism and keeping track of spell components and actual death and completely unfucking beatable hunchbacks and stuff like that? Is that a game session that we're all comfortable with?
The first time that Quasimodo did his stop ringing the bell, spin attack, start ringing the bell again in one turn, did nobody be like, are you fucking with me?
Oh, yeah. Like, obviously, it was like a homebrewed encounter.
Yeah.
You think?
I don't know. I've not read the Pathfinder. I've not read the Pathfinder monster manual, so I have no clue.
Yeah,
which one? The
That's
bestiary.
less homebrew. That's crack house brew.
Yeah,
We fed him
that is
methamphetamine.
not in any of
and
the
saw
published
what would
adventure
happen.
paths that I'm
Right.
aware of. So, yeah.
But seriously, do you know how you were supposed to deal with that?
So we did talk to the DM afterwards, and part of the problem is he didn't account for there not being any area of effect like spellcasters in our party, because the cleric, I think, was the only caster. Everyone else took martial classes, and we were level 3, so we couldn't even take like feats or whatever the equivalent would be.
So your only caster was the pacifist cleric that refused to hurt anybody.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. And he was just sitting there covering his
Okay.
ears like, no, guys, this is fine.
my God.
We
Right.
deserve it.
Mhm.
That's-
So like I guess
like, was he expecting you to like cast something like deafen?
yeah, like area of effect, where it's like if we were to cause the hunchback to have made a dexterity or wisdom saving throw, like he showed us the stat block, and the dexterity was almost 0, the wisdom was I think 5. So it's like that was your out. And it's like, one, how do you expect a party to come to that conclusion in the
While
heat
they're
of the
ringing
moment?
a goddamn bell.
Yeah.
Were his rolls subtracted also?
No, because the only time he would roll was when he would stop ringing the bell to make his attacks, and then
To
he would
kick somebody
immediately
in the
stop
face.
start
Yeah.
ringing the bell.
So I'm trying to think of like other ways to beat it. Like I'm thinking like a grapple, like a contested athletics check. Would his roll also be
I
subtracted?
mean, if you've got a silence spell, silence 10-foot radius or however many
yeah.
foot radius
Yeah,
Pathfinder would
definitely was
allow
my
you. I
first
mean,
thought,
that's an easy one-shot solution to that thing, but you got to have that spell prepped. This is this DM thing where you come up with this insanely clever puzzle that can
With
be,
no clues.
with no clues, but that can be easily overcome. Like if you have the thing you need to do it, but otherwise there's nothing you can do. That's a rookie DM thing that I see happening all the time.
only having one out. That's like not a
Exactly.
guarantee. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
bad. I'm glad the game's not going on anymore, and I hope that DM sticks to manuals until they figure it out.
Me too.
Yeah, the happy ending there is that game never happened again.
Yeah.
So,
It honestly was the best part of that campaign.
So if you're insistent
we
on
never
like
played.
cool, and I like the flavor of that character is actually pretty awesome, and I just wish it was built better. If you're insisting on characters that are like outside the norm, there's so many resources to where you can get better stuff, and then and stay away from the Roll20 stuff, stay away from the homebrew stuff. There's printed books and even third party stuff. I just got the Cobalt Press Tome of Foes or Tome of
Beasts.
Tome of Beasts, the first
best-
two. And as of this
Best
recording,
D&D book not published by WotC.
yeah, and
in
actually,
my opinion,
and as
it's
of this recording,
fantastic.
we're in February 2022. There's a Kickstarter for Tome of Beast 3 going on right now.
Nice.
Ooh.
Nice.
So I already got onto
That
that.
link in
So
the description.
yeah, I'll do
Yeah.
that if this episode gets released before it's over. I don't think that's going to happen.
Oh, well,
So,
never mind.
But
Try.
there's so many cool
Well-
resources for very interesting monsters
See,
that are
and that's the
outside
thing.
the norm.
Is like if it gave a -10 to attack rolls or something like that, like something where it's not, if you try something you will fail, it would have been a really cool encounter. And
Even
it was
-5 to all. Let's say -5 to all rolls, attack, save, check, whatever. That's still a very interesting battle. It's still frustrating but doable. And like when you finally hit that one, it's going to feel that much better. Not just like you don't want people to be like, why am I rolling? And if it's literally impossible to roll, don't do the roll. If you have no chance of success, there's no point in rolling.
I'm still not over you got a nat 20 to shoot them and they were like, it misses.
It's a force field, kapwing.
Yeah.
Well, that's where just in advance you say, okay, he's going to have his monologue. There's not going to be, there's no opportunity to attack him here. So just
You
don't
cannot
even
skip the
don't even
cutscene.
try. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with cutscenes. You just got to tell people that's what they are,
Right.
because otherwise,
He tried to pull a Mr. Incredible and Syndrome
feels
got him
cheap.
in the end.
Yeah.
You sly dog, you got me monologuing.
Exactly.
All right, Greg, excellent story. Thank you so much, man. I'm gonna skip this cutscene and bring us on out. Jim, Greg, Josey, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Of course, I'm Jason. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to Curmudgeons and Dragons. Please share this with your favorite adventurers. Leave a review on Apple and follow us on social media. All links can be found at curmudgeonsanddragons.com. Practice safe adventuring, my friends.
This has been a JTP Audio podcast. Thanks for listening.